of this final. The final session then of the Players' Championship. An average frame time of just 15 minutes. It's been an open clash, as we anticipated, and so far there's absolutely nothing to separate them. This match now effectively becomes a best of 11. Settling then to what is going to be a brilliant climax to a fabulous event. I think the stat that really tells the story of this final so far, between them, they've averaged 6 safety shots per frame, and that's including the break-off. So it's very much been a case of see ball, pot ball, and it's perfectly poised, Matthew Stevens.
Yeah, it is. Well, what an atmosphere. I actually had goosebumps there. It was tremendous, and you could see when John walked down full of smiles, he's relishing this challenge tonight.
And I think it is going to be a challenge, isn't it? It's going to be a challenge for both players. How can John contain that man there, Zhao Xintong, so dangerous from distance?
Well, I think if anyone can, John can. He's got the all-round game. You know, he's just a snooker legend, isn't he? You'd never back against him.
It was clear to see earlier, though, both players absolutely enjoying themselves out there, and why shouldn't they be? Final of a big ranking event. Fabulous crowding once again this evening, as you would expect. John Higgins, at the age of 50, still at the very top of his game. If he were to get his hands on this trophy this evening, he would become the oldest ever ranking event champion. He was winning ranking events before Zhao Xintong was even born. It was very open, wasn't it, the first session? But that final frame, there was quite a few mistakes early on. It got a little bit edgy, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. You know, the first 7 frames were an easy watch. You know, every frame just flowed. But yes, that last frame, you feel, was very important. You know, they both missed 1 or 2 for the first time in the match.
Foul and a miss.
So,
John Higgins,
I think
4.
John would have been happier with 4-all than Zhao. So it's, yeah, it's going to be fascinating tonight.
Yep.
Well, this little exchange may be quite telling. Neither player wanting to play an aggressive safety shot, neither wanting to really open reds. Don't want to let one another in with a cheap chance. And so far the safety's been very, very good. I think on the whole, Matt, from this week, Zhao Xintong, the one thing that's surprised me, not necessarily surprised me, but has been evident, his safety's been brilliant this week. He's put a lot of people under a lot of pressure through his safety play. We know he can pot long from distance, we know he can score heavy, but his safety's been great.
Yeah, it has, especially the match against Sean Murphy, that was evident there. So he's learning very quickly how to play safe. We all know how good his potting is. As I say that, John's just left Zhao a decent. Well, it's tough to get on the colour, but the first opportunity of a pot in this frame.
One.
Yeah, he struck that pink really well, but he hasn't come any good on any red, really. So it's either the attack in red into the left-hand corner or just play a decent safety shot.
Well, his concern here is there's no obvious route back to baulk from the angle that the cue ball will be coming at the reds from. It might be difficult to gain an advantage from this position. And that's why
Zhao Xintong, 7.
he opted to play the aggressive approach, tried to pot his way out of trouble. I suppose one glaring stat that goes against John Higgins this evening, Zhao Xintong, he's played in 4 world ranking finals before this evening. He's won all 4. He's unbeaten in ranking event finals. And if he wins tonight, he will leapfrog John in the world rankings up into 5th. That would be a career high, so plenty at stake this evening.
That was a poor shot from Zhao. Should have been tight in behind the brown, so he's missed the boat there a little bit. So a chance for John to try and get in behind the yellow for the safety shot.
Well, John did go very close to getting that cue ball in behind the yellow. And I think poor was an understatement, Matthew. That was a terrible shot, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was really badly misjudged. How many safeties did you say they played each in the first session? I think they've overtaken it already, have they?
Yeah, they averaged 6 a frame, and that was including the break-off, as I say, so already the start of this evening's session. You could cut the tension with a knife out there, neither player wanting to blink.
Yeah, but the safety battle has been very impressive by both. Not giving an inch. They want to get the advantage as soon as possible, just to settle down.
Now there's 3 balls very close together, and the bottom one of them may be set. Well, clearly not, otherwise John would have been playing it. Did come round to have a look at it. Yeah, good shot.
Yeah, tremendous safety shot by John. I think Zhao will be forced into taking this red to the left-hand corner pocket. But it'll be difficult to get the white out from the cluster of reds and to get onto a colour.
One.
What a result. What a great pop. What a result. What was the chances of landing on the pink there, Stephen?
Do you think he'll be happy with that one?
Yeah, I think he'd be all right with that.
As you say, he had to fully commit to the pot there, trusting to luck with his cue ball. Sometimes the balls have a funny way of rewarding you out there, and he's been heavily rewarded.
Seven.
The best John could do with his previous safety shot was get that cue ball tight to the baulk rail, and that's what he did. Trusting a little to luck that he wouldn't leave anything straightforward for Zhao. That long red wasn't straightforward, but he made it look to be.
$13. 14.
Yeah, just come up a little bit short of pace on the blue, so we'll have to go in and out of balk to get back on his next red. Not straightforward, because they all seem to be blocking themselves into the left-hand corner pocket. So, a decent shot required.
He'll be trying to plan his route here, which red to take, that will slowly start to unlock this visit. Somewhat of a puzzle to solve. And it doesn't
19.
look like he's going to be solving it this time.
Zhao
Well,
Xintong. 19.
in the end, took a long time to decide on the shot to play there, Zhao Xintong. Not very often you see a player that plays to the speed he does take over a minute. And perhaps that indecision just clouded his thought process there. He's played a terrible safety shot once again. He's left the tempter for John.
Yeah, he's taken this long red on, but he's not certain to get on the colour. The similar shot to what Zhao played earlier needed a little bit of luck to land nicely on the colour. Oh, he took the other one. He fooled us all. Yeah, great pot.
1.
And nicely on the brown. So this is John's first chance in this frame. Yeah, he's played that to perfection. Great shot.
Six.
Look, it goes without saying, John Higgins,
11.
all the experience in the world, he'll know just how important these early exchanges are tonight, in particular this first frame. Of course, the adrenaline will be pumping for both. Chance to just settle back down into this game once again.
$12.
And at 4 each, both players will be looking at this little mini session of 4 frames before the interval, there's an opportunity to gain some sort of advantage, try and win this mini session.
$18. 19. 25. 26. 32. 33.
Yeah, he's taken these really well, but now the hard work starts. There's 5 awkward reds left, so yeah, he needs to play a decent positional shot and then get an angle to try and move those 3 reds next to the black. Yeah, he's played that really nice.
39. No problem.
Further down the line, he could maybe leave his cue ball just slightly south of the black spot and pop the red along the cushion, bringing the other reds into play in the process. Not an easy shot to play, but as you say, needs more points.
Got it. 40.
Yeah, I didn't quite get into the cue ball enough. So it's going to be pink and maybe play for the red to the left-hand side. So it's he'll do well to keep this break going again.
Well, the more difficult blue gives him a chance to get down this end. It's a natural path for the cue ball. Needs to avoid the knuckle. Yeah, disappointed glance from John Higgins. Maybe end of break.
45.
Big target up in behind the green or the yellow.
John Higgins, 45.
A nice break of 45, nevertheless, from the safety error from the world champion. So game on now. John has got the lead. Zhao needs to be the aggressor.
as you see here, he got so close to the pot. But it's a tough thread into the left-hand middle. This is an early tester. Oh, he's taking up the corner.
One.
Yeah, it was a good pot from John. Took a moment there just to steady himself. And this lead growing all the while. Into the reds then. Needs some luck.
6.
Well, it was a calculated gamble, that, from John Higgins. He needed the reds in play, or at least one of them.
Foul. And a miss. John Higgins 6. Zhao Xintong 4.
This now the longest frame of this match. And it's still not that long, just 28.5 minutes, but very, very important one. Well, it was a good safety shot from Zhao, acknowledged by John. It was up to him to make the move in that little exchange. He's the one trailing, trying to force John to bring these two reds into play. And now slowly but surely this frame is starting to open up. And all of a sudden, the safety play is under a bit more scrutiny, particularly from John now.
Yeah, there's a good chance here for Zhao to get John in a lot of trouble, maybe try and get in behind the green. Yeah, he's played it well, so John's in a little bit of trouble here.
It was almost a little game of mental chess there between the two. Zhao Xintong this time coming out on top. Now, John's concern here in nestling up to the red on the top cushion is that he may leave the red to right middle. He's in a very awkward position. Very little he can actually do with this shot. And he knows full well that if he leaves his cue ball there, that Zhao Xintong will pull the trigger on the red to middle. Well, if he's covered the red, that really is as good as it gets from John Higgins. Line and length, absolutely to the inch.
Yeah, that was superb by John. He looked to be in all sorts of trouble there, but still, this is going to be a tough shot for John here. He's just got the upper hand at the minute, Zhao, with the safety.
So John looking to retreat back to balk with a thin edge on the red, misjudged. Now Zhao Xintong, from this sort of distance, he's very, very reliable.
One.
I mean, it's just in, isn't it? He stood behind that shot and you just know he's going to knock it in. You're more surprised if he misses it.
Yeah, I just keep chuckling to myself every time he gets left them. You just expect him to hit the centre of the pocket, and he didn't let us down again. Yeah, it's incredible how he just seems to pot them so frequently.
Well, last night,
8.
at the climax of the match between Zhao Xintong and Mark Allen, he potted a fabulous black. This red is similar, fraught with danger.
Zhao Xintong 8.
But every credit to him, he never shies away from trying to win the frame. It was a tough shot that though, wasn't it, Matthew?
Yeah, that was a lot tougher than it looked on the screen. But like you said, he never backs away from going for them. It's all an out attack, so he's left John half a chance for red just past the yellow. We feel it's quite a big shot early on.
Well, he toyed with the idea of the more difficult red down the top cushion. And it is a lot more difficult. And in the end, didn't really get close to that attempt. So this frame very much still alive. Zhao Xintong has slowly clawed his way back into it.
Yeah, it was a good shot from John. And playing that, he just knocked the green that little bit safer, so he's got a good advantage in this frame. Yeah, once again, a great safety from Zhao.
Well, John may be in a bit of trouble here. Didn't want to play off this red on the top cushion. So this safety shot becomes fairly big now. Well, the green's going to stop the cue ball. And he'll take that. Okay, he slightly promoted the green. But his concern there was not bringing that red into play.
Yeah, this is a good opportunity for John. This is going to be all on that last red, with the red down the cushion. So it'll be an early tester for John.
He'd like to not play on the black here from this red, because then he could just dolly the red along the top cushion, black waiting.
One.
So the lead goes to 18, black makes it 25. If he drops the red in, he'll need a colour from it. And he's landed a little straight, so there's now a little bit of work to be done with this final red, and the pace he'll need to inject into it may make it missable. Needs to get close to the red. And now he needs an angle.
8. 9.
Yeah, that's a great shot from John. So, just this black to leave Zhao Higgins snookers in what has been a long old frame, but John will be relieved to win it.
And a mighty relief, John
16.
Higgins, as the black disappears. It's been a hard-fought frame, but he's shown his class there with those last 2 shots. Very, very good indeed. So 33 the difference, 2
John
snookers.
Higgins, 16.
Fabulous arena, fabulous crowd in. It's been great all week. Well, there's a few nice big targets on this table for Zhao Xintong to potentially get the snookers, but the trouble he's faced with is that John Higgins just isn't going to allow for a good opportunity to play them. He's far too streetwise for that. Half a chance this yellow may find its way in the pocket off the green. Not quite, but he'll be happy with that outcome. Well, it was a resigned look from the world champion as he trudged back to his seat. John Higgins can put this frame to bed.
2.
Well, it was a frame that could have gone
John
either
Higgins
way, but the
to
nod has come
Andy
from
frame.
the world champion, and it was a hard-fought battle. But the result, a common one. John Higgins came out on top. It's often the case when long bouts of safety are played. The high-value colour, the black, ended up out of play very early on. Can Zhao Xintong find some rhythm?
Yeah, he missed that lot red by quite a distance. That's maybe due to that opening frame, so many safeties. It's difficult to, get any rhythm.
In some ways, it was very similar to his semi-final yesterday against Mark Allen. Found himself behind at the interval. Never really got involved in that opening session. But then straight out with a bang. Made a total clearance of 140 in the first frame and, of course, went on to win that match 6-5. He's so talented, so special. He can just flick a switch and spark into life. And he's going to need that tonight. But so far, things aren't looking good.
Yeah, and John will sense that. So he needs to take full advantage of the situation.
Thanks. 1.
The remarkable thing about this season,
6.
we've had 13 different ranking event winners in a row. And amazingly, John Higgins has got the chance to extend that this evening. In a time where the game really...
7.
The level is so high, there's so many different winners coming through, so many potential first-time champions on the horizon as well. But these guys, John Higgins, he just keeps sticking around, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's incredible, John. But yeah, that stat, 13 different winners, it is quite incredible. But like you said, the standard is so high these days, it's difficult for anyone to dominate.
14.
Well, it looked good at first sight, got into the reds, and that secondary spin on the cue ball nearly dragged it back out. But John Higgins' expression tells a story. Disappointed not to be on anything, having done all the hard work there in bringing the reds into play.
John Higgins, 14.
Yeah, I think he might have left a tempter into the right-hand middle, but what a tough shot.
Yeah, not just the pot. The blue won't pass into the opposite left middle for a red blocking it, so his cue ball would have to travel unless he played the blue up into the far left. It's winking at him though, isn't it? He finds it very hard to turn them down.
Yeah, I was just about to say the same thing. If there's a pot on, he normally goes for it and normally gets it. But he's missed a couple tonight, so this makes this pot even more difficult. Oh, what a pot. That is so impressive.
Well, that is a pot right out of the top drawer from the world champion. Look at what he was leaving.
Your sweets, please.
He was leaving the absolute world for John Higgins there. So brave.
5.
Yeah, it was like he needed something to happen there, Stephen, wasn't it? You know,
6.
he's missed 3 or 4 half chances, but just needed something to happen, and that's what happened. So this is a great chance to make a decent break and settle himself down tonight.
$10. $11.
Again, I love this from John.
18.
Eyeballing his opponent, sat upright in his seat, primed, ready to go. Should he make
19.
a mistake? Not for a second resigned himself to the fact that Zhao Xintong may mop these up and he may win this frame at this visit. He's ready to go should the chance come about. Good signs.
26. 27. 34. 35. 42. 43.
Yeah, Stephen, it's just so impressive how fast he makes the breaks, isn't it? You can sit down for a minute and he's on 50. It's really hard to play against. Well, and he's played that cannon to perfection. Well, you'd expect Zhao
50.
to go on and win the frame in this visit.
It really is quite
51.
a mesmerising sight, Zhao Xintong, as he just glides about the arena, just slipping around the table. It's very difficult, in fact, to take your eyes off him.
58. 59. 66.
So very quickly, this frame arrived at frame ball.
67.
'Yeah, we haven't played 10 minutes in this frame yet. Slightly different to the opening frame.
74. 75.
Well, the one thing this final has lacked so far is a century break. The highest being a 90 from John Higgins in the 8th.
$80. 81. 88.
Well, it's going to take some doing now to make the century break. Come on, Zhao. Where are you going to pot this one? Now, what a shame.
88.
No century break, but a fine break of 88 and a world. It's 5-all. Quick fire break of 88 in that previous frame from the world champion. Seems to find his gear very quickly, having played out a pretty prolonged opening frame this evening.
Yeah, decent safety from John, but he's left one of these reds, and he does fancy these, doesn't he, Stephen? He doesn't miss many of these, but it's a tough shot. Wow.
1.
A picture of pure beauty. Look at how still he stays. Head doesn't move an inch. Stayed with it the whole way. He needs to follow it up with a good black here. Well, just took his medicine with the pot. He's going to be the red up into the green bag. So he's one good pot away now from finding a great chance, great scoring chance. And off he goes again. The thing is, he just doesn't mind leaving that sort of shot, does he? He just backs himself completely.
Do you need help switching it off? Thanks, Paul.
Well, just a little bit of noise in the arena. Zhao Xintong seeing the
Sorry.
funny side.
16.
I think it might have been someone's alarm going off. I'm not sure where they want to go.
Yeah, going back to those opening balls, it's just so incredible. I keep losing the words to say about him. It's so impressive. Just makes them look like they're over the pocket.
Thanks. $23. $24.
One of the most exciting
29.
things about Zhao Xintong is that he loves to play the game on his terms. And that's why we love watching him.
30.
Plays the game properly. Always seeking to win the frame. And off his own accord as well, tries to not rely on mistakes from his opponent. He goes hunting for them. But he'd like that
37.
one back. Hasn't played that particularly well. Work to be done with this cue ball now.
38.
Well, how well did he strike that cue ball? That was a lot more difficult than it looked. But yet again, a pure strike.
$43. $44.
Well, his cue ball has just pulled up short there. Just wonder if he may use the pack of reds now to just take the pace out of this cue ball and in the process bring reds into play. Oh, is it gonna drop? It's clinging on for dear life. But it's staying right there. So John Higgins, what's he got to go at? Well, it was never in, was it? It shouldn't be dropping, and it didn't. And at first glance, John's got nothing, or has he got this red right in amongst them? Or is he attempting a cheeky one up into the yellow bag? He is, you know, and he's very, very close. How well has he played that? What a clever shot, leaving nothing.
What a pot from John. And will he take this opportunity to go into the cluster of 5 reds? It's a decent target.
This time.
Well, he did, but that wasn't the way he intended to go into them. And he's on nothing.
8.
Yeah, just caught the black a little thin here. Thicker contact required to hit the pack direct. Well, look at this table now. Nothing is safe.
Nine.
Well, he's potted 2 of the best reds you'll ever likely see in this 9 break.
Please, we need to make sure the phones are at least on silent. Thank you.
Again, look at the vision here from John Higgins.
Please just make it sure it's switched off now.
The dreaded mobile phone. Can be so annoying, Stephen, can it? Kept his concentration well, and he's played that
16.
really, really well. So he's back in good position, yeah.
$17.
I think he might try a little delicate cannon into the pink, so that will open the other two reds just below it. So this is a big shot.
$22.
Well, there you see, he is on this red at the back of the 3, but cue ball slightly compromised.
$23.
Now, I'll be disappointed there, John. He's just sent that red up the table. No idea where it was going to finish. And look at that. It's landed bang on the green. So that may be a lifeline for the world champion. Further down the line.
$28. $29.
Yeah, just come up
35.
a little short of pace, so this will be a tester if he wants to keep this break going.
There's the POV from the ref cam. If you've ever wondered what it's like to clean a cue ball. Tough shot this that John's faced with. Semi-blind cutback.
$36.
Once again, what a great shot. What a break this has been.
So now it is all going to come
43.
down to that final red by the green. He's got
44.
options here, John. He's got the opportunity to play the little cannon. Just came round to have a look that in not playing the cannon, he's got the guaranteed snooker. The green may even pop to this bottom right corner, so options.
$49.
Well, that tells us that he's playing the snooker.
John Higgins, 49. Foul in the miss. John Higgins 4. Yes.
Yeah, it's a good hit, but does this red go past the blue into the yellow pocket, or will he guarantee a snooker behind the black? I think it goes. So once again, big moments in this frame. Excellent safety from Zhao. But if you can see this red full ball, he could play with a trace of left-hand side and the white could stick in behind the black, so Zhao could find himself in trouble after the shot.
Well, that's a tremendous safety shot from John Higgins. Now, has he got cover? No, it's a great shot he's played. It really is. Using the spin on the cue ball there to trap the white into the cushion to, as Matthew said, kill the pace. Well, he could see the edge, and he's completely misplayed it. So from nowhere in this frame, John Higgins got himself right back involved. And now he's got a great chance to hit the front once again.
Thanks. 1.
So that green puts John 13 points ahead. Just the yellow, green and brown to leave Zhao leading snookers in what has been a big frame really, and one for John to look at, and hopefully he's thinking to himself, if he can win the next frame, he'll be 2 ahead for the first time. So it's a great performance here from John.
6.
Yeah, that's the difference now for this next frame coming up. Big for John.
Nine.
And in some ways, even bigger for Zhao Xintong to stay with him.
$13.
And
80.
no heroics with the blue. So once again, it's been another very hard fought frame from John Higgins. But ultimately, it doesn't matter
18 and a frame.
how hard fought they are,
John
as long
Higgins.
as they get this break off a little thicker, get that end red tracking back out into the pack, because we know how good Zhao Xintong is from distance. Something that he succeeded very well at today. The break-off shot for so long has been seen as a nothing shot, but of course the players are so good now. If you leave that long red, 9 times out of 10 it's getting potted. And sometimes even a good break-off isn't good enough.
1.
It's just like that over the pocket. It's it's just unbelievable.
He really is one of the most extraordinary talents we've ever seen, Zhao Xintong.
5.
There's no doubt about it. He is one of the purest ball strikers we've ever seen. A generational talent.
6.
For years he's been talked about, the potential that he's got. Of course, he realised that potential last year, lifting the world title.
Please, guys. 13.
And of course, it's a very special evening for him this evening, should he win this title. Back-to-back ranking
14.
events it would be. There isn't many players in the history of the game that have actually done that. He's got the world at his feet. And as well, just as a little side point, how good would it be if he went on to win this title?
21.
The narrative it would create around the Tour Championship in a few weeks in Manchester. The thought of someone potentially winning all 3 Players Series event, well, we'll
22.
leave that to the future. Right back here and now, he's involved in a big, big final.
He just misjudged
29.
that cannon. I'm not sure whether this red will go to the left-hand corner. It looks pretty narrow.
Zhao Xintong, 29.
Well, that was very aggressive, Steve, wasn't it?
Well, the way he's played that, in his mind, the double must have been guaranteed.
One.
And he's misjudged it by quite some way, in fact. Caught an awful lot of that jaw.
Eight.
Once again tonight, he's gone into the pack and landed on nothing. So just the safety shot here.
John Higgins, 8.
Oh, that's a poor shot from John. So another chance for Zhao to get back in amongst the balls. Wow, he's missed one.
A collector's item. Even he looks confused as to how he's missed that by so far. Oh, look at that. Right in amongst them, there's a red that goes. Well, by his standards, this was a mile away, wasn't it?
One.
Great shot from John. He's got the angle on the blue to go into the pack, but he's looking at the brown. So decision time. For me, the blue looks favourite because it's a nice pack to go into, isn't it?
Yeah, usually the target is full in the face on the pink. But it's quite a wide target, this. Either side wouldn't be the end of the world. Yeah, and he caught the pink first, and then allowed the cue ball to drift off and bring reds into play that way, but it hasn't landed all too pretty.
John Higgins, 6. One.
Well, he's been seriously cursed there, Zhao Xintong. The plant wasn't the issue, and he thought he was an absolute certainty to be on black. And the planted red has come to hamper him, so... Well, he knocked in a green earlier on in this final. That was what dreams are made of. Surely that's a step too far here. But the red in balk is causing him problems.
The green ball.
Well, he's nominated the green. I think we know what's coming.
Four.
Pick that one out. As good as it gets. But he's missed the red. After such a good pot on the green,
Zhao Xintong,
he's
4.
missed the red.
Well, this game does not make any sense at all. Potting a green like that and missing was for him as quite an easy pot. So he's left John half a chance here on this red at the left corner, but it's not easy.
Never easy, that type of shot that John was playing, particularly with the rest, trying to swing the cue ball around the angles, touch left-hand side, easy to throw that thick. Zhao Xintong will be mighty relieved that that missed red a few moments ago has not been costly. He needs to just knuckle down here, just re-find his focus. There's no obvious reason why he shouldn't take this chance now, but all day he's thrown in the odd miss.
6.
And when the margins are so small, that could make the difference.
7. $14.
He's come through some really tough matches this week, Zhao Xintong. 2 by way of a deciding frame. This has a feel that it could go the distance this evening. The good news from Zhao Xintong's point of view is that he's played, well, he's won 16 deciders this
22.
season. That's a serious number. But there's a lot of snooker left to be played in this match.
23. $28. 29.
So just this blue to more or less put us back onto level terms once again. It's going to be a fascinating end to this match.
$34.
Well, numerically he's over the line in this frame, but he won't feel that way. He'll want this red to disappear. Ah,
35.
great shot. And that now just stops John Higgins from breathing down his neck. So once again, we're back to levels. This match started off as a best of 19. It then became a best of 11. It's now a best of 7.
41. $42. 48. 49. 56. 58. 61.
It's hard to know really who will feel the better of the two heading to the interval. I think both will be quite pleased, both enjoying this final. Yes, there's been a few
65.
mistakes, but there's been some brilliance in amongst it as well. Once again, set up perfectly.
70. 76.
A fascinating session of snooker.
Zhao Xintong to play.
Here we go then, the concluding mini session of the Players' Championship final, and it could not be set up better. 6-all, neither player able to get away in the match. What a terrible break-off.
Foul.
Caught the blue, followed the
John
face,
Higgins,
knocked
5.
it in. Worse still, left a red as well. So, about a bad a start to the final mini session as it could be made, really.
Yeah, it's been a strange performance from the world champion in this tonight's session so far. Every time when he looked like he's maybe getting into the groove, he misses something easy.
Higgins unable to take advantage though, but he's got away with it, it would seem.
Yeah, that was a worryingly bad shot though for John. Just cast my mind back to the final of the Masters against Karen Wilson. Sort of last session of that match, John went backwards and just started missing a lot of easy balls. Played very poorly at the end. Doesn't want to do that again tonight. But he got away with it. Well, this could end up being a re-rack. John playing the miscue.
Obviously it's a massive clash of generations and styles, but also demeanours. Higgins very intense, maybe too much, and Xintong maybe not quite dialed in enough with that break-off shot.
Foul. John Higgins 4.
Well, looking to see if he can make these into a plan. This would break the deadlock one way or another. One way or another, but not the way he wanted. nowhere near it.
Yeah, those first two shots John has played, first two pot attempts, say worryingly wide of the mark for his supporters.
Eight. Nine.
Well, Xintong made that good 83 to make it 6-all. The frames he's won fluently. He's made sizable breaks in all the
16.
frames he's won. He's also missed a few unexpectedly along the way.
$17.
Just a reminder, if you are tuning in to watch Rich House Poor House, this episode will now be broadcast at a later date. We'll be staying with the snooker to its conclusion.
When you're in Zhao Xintong's position and you've seen those two very bad shots from your
24.
opponent, you've got to say to yourself, is my opponent weakening? Do I need to just find a gear here and try and
25.
push on to the winning line? It's just come up a
32.
little short. It's not been his best cue ball tonight. Won't be a problem going up for the blue, but it wasn't the plan. In
33.
fact, he had obviously the better view of his angle than we did, and was able to hold for the black. That was a very good shot.
40. Zhao Xintong.
That's what I was saying earlier. You know,
40.
it's just the old miss has crept in. The problem is he's so good, you kind of just expect him to pot everything, and he's potted so many difficult balls and then missed easier ones. Just get the feeling from the early stages of this frame, this final, it's going to take some winning. They're both a little nervous coming back after the interval.
One.
Remember the Tour Championship final, though, last year, Higgins, he actually lost 7 frames in a row to Mark Selby. He was 8-5 down, seemingly out of it, and then he did find something very special to win 10-8.
Eight. Nine.
Well, he sort of looked down to the ground there, John, after playing that. I can only assume that he was playing for the blue to left middle, because then it would have been the cannon into the pink and the red, which would have then opened up those 5 reds in the middle of the table. Gonna have to play for the open red on the left side of the table here, I think. Not an angle to get into the bunch. Yeah, good shot.
11.
If you are struggling a little bit, or maybe feeling the tension, or you just lost your sort of rhythm, so to speak, making a sizable break can certainly help that. Not the most convincing
12.
of pots. Hasn't got the angle, I don't think, in the black to go into them. There is a red that's just apart from the pack to the right. May be able to get on that into right middle, or certainly to the green pocket.
Nineteen.
This is far from easy, and it's not been his favourite pocket in the last couple of days.
Twenty.
Yeah, excellent pot, and good angle in the blue. So this is the big shot now in terms of winning this frame at this visit. Can he get a nice full ball contact on the pink? Which will send the pink into the 5 reds. Didn't get the full ball contact, that's why he's lost the cue ball.
25. John Higgins, 25.
Well, we're not far off 4 hours playing time. Of course, it was pretty quick early on. 2 hours for the first 8 frames. But here we are, 6 all, just 6 points in it, in this frame.
Well, credit for fully committing to it. It was a tough pot, and he knew the consequences if he missed it.
One.
Should have cost John Higgins the frame, that miss.
Eight. Nine. Sixteen. 17.
Yeah, potting that red has now opened up a red to the opposite corner pocket. It's just landed straight in the black. It shouldn't be a problem, just a little screw off the cushion with right hand side. And again, like a lot of positional shots, he's come up short.
24. 25.
Nicely done. Check of the scores. He's going to need another red after the pink. He's not been in front since he led 4-3 this afternoon.
$31.
Not there though. Well, it's been the story of this frame
Zhao
from
Xintong.
both.
31.
But what a chance it was to retake the lead. Just needed this red.
One.
Well, I said that last long red miss from John should have cost him the frame. The same goes for Zhao Xintong with that very comfortable miss.
Eight. Nine.
I mean, there were various theories about what might happen today, but a common one was that at some point, Zhao Xintong would find a burst of inspiration, as he did in the World Grand Prix final against Chang'an, the last ranking event. And he just ran away with that in the end. With 5 centuries, it's not happened.
16.
He hasn't got on a run of frames with big breaks, and he's had a lot of chances in the frames that he's lost. He'll be fearing he's lost this one. The 6 colours needed for Higgins.
18. $21.
Yeah, Higgins was showing some frailty at the start of this frame. 2 pot attempts, one was a plant, one was
25.
into the right hand corner pocket, both missed by a mile. As I say, it was a worrying how far he missed them, but Zhao Xintong has not seized on that. And because of that, John
30.
feel okay winning this frame, regaining the lead.
Well, he'll be 3 frames away if he pots pink and black.
36.
Zhao Xintong really missed the boat here. John Higgins becomes champion. A reminder, John Higgins looking to become the oldest ranking event winner this evening. Zhao Xintong looking to win back-to-back ranking titles for the first time, having triumphed at the World Grand Prix a couple of weeks ago.
One.
Well, another great long pot, but not on the black, clearly.
The yellow ball.
Oh, wow. It's hung on.
Zhao Xintong. 1. May I? Yeah, thank you. Thank you. No problem. Thanks.
Well, just looking to clip off the red just below the pink. Just on that right-hand side.
Foul and a miss. Zhao Xintong.
Free
4.
ball. Oh, no, apparently not. Well, look at that. You can see both sides of the red, it would seem.
Back here.
Anyway, it's going back.
Was the brown on the spot?
Yeah.
Was on the spot, was it? Okay.
Marcel Eckhart refereeing his 17th ranking final. He's done the Masters as well and various other big occasions.
Just have a look for me, please, John. You think that close? You sure? Yeah. Xintong, thank you. Foul and a miss. Zhao Xintong 4 and the free ball.
Yeah, clearly a free ball this time.
Yeah, in a way, I'm a little bit surprised he played the same shot again, knowing that that could happen, but I suppose he didn't have a lot of alternatives. Black's out of commission, which just makes this break a little bit tricky at the start. I imagine it'd be green for red to left corner, then hopefully up for an angle in the blue.
Four. Five.
As I said earlier, all the frames he's won, Zhao Xintong, have been one-sided. The most points Higgins has scored in a frame Xintong has won is just 14. When they've got a bit more drawn out, it's been Higgins winning them.
Hit the bunch about as good
10.
as you could have done. Contact on the pink was full in the face. His choice of reds, but getting on the next colour is not going to be easy. Well,
11.
that's pretty good. But you can see the pink's out of commission now as well, so not the easiest opportunity in terms of winning the frame at this visit. Not yet anyway, he's going to have to rely on his cue ball control to keep getting
16.
right side of the blue.
Zhao
He's just-
Xintong 16.
He's not playing well. Zhao Xintong, for whatever reason, he's not cueing well. That is just a shot that you basically never see him miss. And when I mentioned in the last frame that Zhao Xintong would, perhaps reading the signs that John had missed a couple, vice versa. John's been here and done it so many times. He'll sense weakness in his opponent.
1.
I suppose it's a thing we've yet to see with the world champion. The titles he's won, he's played so well, making
4.
loads of centuries and making the game look really easy. Can he win ugly? Can he win with a B game? Because that's what the greats do. John Higgins is not at his best at the moment, but he's finding a way. He's ahead in this match, and he'll find a way to win. That's what being a fierce competitor comes
5.
with.
John Higgins, who hadn't actually qualified because he was 17th on the 1-year list, but Ronnie O'Sullivan didn't take his place up, so he got in. He looked out yesterday when he missed that pink against Judd Trump. And then in the decider, Trump had another chance. So many moments it could have been over. And Zhao Xintong has had a lot of chances in this match and is
8.
beginning to struggle to take them.
Nine.
Yeah, the reds are nice, but it's the fact there's only one big colour at the moment to go for, the blue. Just making this more complicated.
$14. John Higgins, 14.
Well, in this particular passage of play, it's going to be about who makes the fewer mistakes, because they're both making them.
One. Six. Seven.
Well, the cannon on the red was not intentional. I mean, he's a little bit fortunate to have some sort of pot in the blue.
Twelve. Thirteen. The yellow ball. Zhao Xintong, 13.
Well, as we said, it was hard to keep the break going with black and pink out of commission. Anyway, he's 24 in front. Well, this has changed things. Not only has he left the red, the black's available now.
One.
So if Zhao Xintong can just focus here, it's a chance not only to level the match, but also to make John Higgins think about some of these errors. Bit of a high wire act this, but he's on the red.
Yeah, I mean,
8.
one of these players has got to think, you know, if I can just raise my game a little bit, because both players are just really struggling. I mean, I thought the final today would have had, you know, at least, you know, 4, maybe 5 centuries. But there's not been one yet. And tonight has been, well, littered with bad shots and easy misses.
14.
As I say, which one of these can just find a gear? Coming to the business end of this final.
Thanks. 15.
He's going to need another red after the black to level things once again.
He's played for the top red to the right middle. It's pretty
22.
tight to me. It's frame ball.
$23.
If I was Zhao Xintong, I'd be trying to clear the table here. Because if you do that, you're taking some good momentum into the next frame.
28.
Well, certainly make sure of this, because Higgins, you feel, would play on if he misses the red. So just making sure.
29.
It's worth saying, of course, this is the 14th ranking event of the season. They've all been won so far, the previous 13, by different players. That pattern would continue if John Higgins won tonight. So at the moment, the game is just wide open and so unpredictable.
34. Zhao
Yeah,
Xintong,
snooker at the moment.
34.
It's a bit like the
Andy
big winner
Frank.
at the BAFTAs tonight. One battle after another. And hit the blue full in the face, potted it. He's avoided it this time. But of course, you're always on the lookout for leaving on potential long red.
That's the sort of reds that John's been knocking in with regularity this week. It's the kind of shot that the top pros expect to get. Sort of 7, 8 out of 10. Well, again, you've got to give John credit for playing a positive shot, trying to pot the red and get position on the black. Leaving the cue ball down at this end of the table is always, you're always risking leaving reds on if you miss the pot.
Thank you.
Well, you could see there was just an edge of the pack sticking out for John. This red's obviously on, but the path of the cue ball is not comfortable. The main problem, that red underneath the black, on the black cushion. But the priority, obviously, pot the red. Which, more often than not, this man at the table is going to do.
Eight. Nine. Sixteen. 17. 24. 25.
Fourth black coming up. Pink's out of commission, so that's not going to be a colour he's going to play for. So it'll be staying on the black for the time being, you would think. Just that red that I mentioned when he played the opening long pot, the red underneath the black is just, it's just a hindrance. It's just stopping him playing the positional shots that he wants to play. For that reason, he's leaving the black alone. That was handy because I thought the pink was unpottable, but
Thank you. 31. 32.
'It's noticeable he's just taking his
39.
time a little bit here, understandably. He's guarding against unforced errors.
40.
he has to sense himself, as I say, as John would sense that Zhao Xintong has not been his
47.
best tonight, but yeah, Zhao Xintong has to sense that there's a chance here if he can just, as I say, find a gear.
48.
Lovely angle on the black if he wants to screw into the pink here with a little bit of pace. Doesn't have to, of course. I think it's the right shot. It would probably seal the fate of this frame. He's walking around the table, so I presume he's on this
55.
red to left corner. His heart might have skipped a beat.
$56.
Not quite out of the woods yet. This pink is missable. If it goes in, yes, you'd have to say he'll win the frame. Wasn't in the middle of the pocket, but the important thing, it is in.
62. $63.
So 2 more pots and it'll be a clean kill in this frame. This is what we were seeing in the first session. Still time to make a dash for the winning line.
68.
Frame ball for an 8-7 lead.
69.
No faltering this time.
Yeah, this is a
75.
much better visit to the table from the world champion.
76.
Well, of course, he already has the high break, 142.
82.
Can't quite beat that, but he'll be more than satisfied that he's won the
83.
frame in the way he wants to. Just get in, kill it off. This is how Zhao Xintong tends to roll.
Yeah, you've seen that he's coughing quite a lot, and it's got
89.
worse as the day's gone on. So if he's not feeling 100%, you want to win this match as quickly
90.
as possible. Doesn't want to be out here for another hour and a half or so. 10-9.
So
96.
2 more pots for our first century of the final.
97.
And it will be Zhao Xintong's 58th of the season, just 3 behind Mock Selby, who's top of that list. What a timely one it's been. There have been quite a few errors tonight, but not in this frame.
104.
Is he now making his move? He's missed that,
Zhao
but the frame
Xintong,
has been won
104.
with a break of
And the
104. John Higgins finds himself trailing 8-7. He was 2-0 up. Zhao Xintong's never been too clear himself, but of course, chance to go to 9-7 here. And the concern from Higgins, A, the mistakes he's made, of course, but Zhao Xintong was making them as well. He didn't in the last frame. He made a century.
Yeah, it's about which player can just do the easy things well from here on in. No unforced errors. And that's who'll win the match. Missed the brown here. It hasn't done though. He left this red to right middle. Again on a colour. Doesn't look automatic at all, so maybe forced to play this red in the right corner to get position on the blue. I'm not sure if it's a thin enough cut, then he may be able to avoid the reds with the cue ball. Yeah, it's right corner.
Yeah, not easy, but he has left an opening here.
1.
As I say, Xintong could still finish in style. If he won, you know, the last 3 frames with big breaks, that's what people, I guess, would remember from this final.
6.
Now playing this with topspin, which tells me the black pots.
7.
You'd love to get on the red that's immediately to the right of the black. You can see the red there. Has he got there? Has he got there? Look at the body language. He hasn't.
14.
So many times today he's come up short with his positional play. Whether the table's playing slow or not, I don't know, but even if it is, someone of his class should be able to adapt. That is an unforced error.
Zhao Xintong. 14.
Is this a 4-ball plant possibly for John? The right corner? No, I don't think so. But in playing the safety shot, he's got to be careful he doesn't leave a red over that right corner pocket.
One.
That was beautiful. He's played that with a flick of right hand side here. When it hits the cushion, the natural angle would be taking it towards the middle pocket.
Six.
Zhao Xintong 1 frame in front, but 346 points in front on the aggregate. Just bears out what I was saying. He's winning. When he's winning frames, he's winning them
7.
comfortably. And if you're hoping it's a similar story here. Everyone wondered, as you always do with a new world champion, how will they get on? And it was a slowish start to the season, let's be honest, but he found his feet. He won the Golden Ball Riyadh Season Championship in Saudi. Got to a couple of semi-finals and then, of course, won the World Grand Prix. And it was the manner of how he won it that made everyone sit up and take notice. So the signs are good
14.
as we head towards Sheffield in April, where he'll be defending, of course, the world title, or trying to.
$15.
Yeah, you just get the sense that he's just up to the intensity,
22.
the focus. It's like you can sense the winning line is there for the
23.
taking. Once again, short with a positional shot.
30.
It's got to go up for the blue now. It shouldn't be a problem, but at this stage of a match, you want to keep
31.
things as simple as possible. And again, he's short. So you're going to have to play the next red from distance.
36. 37.
You can see Higgins in the background peeping round with a look of concern on his face. It's the final now. Finally getting away from him. He's dug in all day.
$44. 45.
Higgins just hasn't really scored this evening. The big breaks have been made by Xintong. No half centuries from Higgins in this session.
52. 53.
So frame ball, and it's another quick kill coming up. Zhao Xintong has well and truly made his move.
60.
Last frame was 11 and a half
61.
minutes. This is just shy of 9. 2 sizable breaks. And in a match that's been really closely fought all day, it suddenly seems like a long
68.
way back from Higgins, because the way Xintong has stepped it up. I'm sure John Higgins will feel that he'll only need one more chance, potentially, to get it won. So pressure now on the 4 times world champion to find some sort of response.
Thanks. 69.
Yeah, I would
76.
never ever dream of writing off the chances of John Higgins. He's done it so many times, but I
77.
just get the feeling that Zhao Xintong has found a gear at just the right time.
$84. 85. 92.
He's just slipped into that mode, hasn't he, the last 2 frames,
93.
making the game look ridiculously easy again. It's not been the way the whole final.
Just shows a good temperament, though, doesn't it? Because he was
99.
making errors. He didn't get on his own case. And if he pots this yellow, it's back-to-back centuries
101.
to be within one of victory. This is what champions are made of.
$104. 108. 113. 119.
Well, another delightful contribution. 104 in the last
Zhao
frame.
Xintong,
Clearance of bits of luck, and let's be honest, that was a big one along the way. But he's shown as well, of course, so much skill. He's now made 7 centuries in the tournament, 2 in the last 2 frames.
1.
Well, it's all. I was going to say, well, it's all happening. It's all going well now for Zhao Xintong, but he's just stopped in his tracks. Is he on this red to right corner?
Six.
Just wanted to go past that red, the one that he cannoned, to leave it
13.
to right corner. So now faced with a much more difficult pot. Up to the green pocket. Don't think it's straight enough to screw back for black, so taking the cue ball up the table.
14.
Right, he's just found it, hasn't he? At the right time.
Yeah, it's like a switch has been flicked.
40.
If he does win tonight, he'll go up to 5th in the world. That's his highest ever ranking.
Yeah, he won't be stopping there.
19.
Yeah, I mean, he's got age on his side, isn't he? He's still 28.
$20.
How aggressive does he want to be here? The red above the black, send that into the main bunch. It's not worked out nicely. He's got a red to right middle. Not sure if he can see all of the cue ball though.
27.
I mean, played the shot as well as you could have, but it's just finished awkwardly.
Points for that reply. Stacking up. But can he continue here? Very close to this red. That'll do. Very nicely.
28.
Still going. Still in business.
This is missable. But it just seems to have found the zone in the last 2.5 frames.
35.
I mean, he's just finished. He just can't seem to get that one perfect positional shot, which will just sort of settle him into winning the match. He's just one good shot away, one good positional shot away from sealing the deal here.
36.
Is that the one? Another great recovery pot.
I mean, this is a sign of pure class, world class.
43.
The way he's just stepped up a gear the last 3 frames. Very, very impressive.
$44.
Oh, what has he done? He's done for the pink. He's gone too far. He's got to play the blue. Look at that.
49. $50.
And the cue ball has just made the journey. I think he's just gone past straight in the blue. Not many more pots required, but I'd love to see him finish with another century. What a way that would be to finish off a final. 3 tons in a row from 7 each.
Yeah,
55.
John Higgins did it once in China against Stuart Bingham at the old China Championship, an invitation event at the time, from 7 each. But the thing here is Xintong had been struggling.
56.
He didn't get on his own case, did he? He didn't sort of get frustrated.
Say he's not been his best
62.
cue ball in this break. As I say, he's never been in perfect position for 2 shots in a row. He's literally 2 pots away from winning this final, winning this championship.
63.
Well, they're still going in. You can't say he doesn't make it entertaining, if nerve-wracking to watch. So 63 in front, the black to lead by 70 with 67 on. Barring snookers, this will be championship ball for Zhao Xintong. He stepped it up when he had to. What a finish from the world champion.
70.
Make sure of the red, and then there's no way back, surely, for John Higgins. In it goes.
71.
Well, only 3 players have previously won their first 5 ranking finals. Steve Davis, Mark Williams and Neil Robertson. There's going to be many more, isn't there, for this young man? Back-to-back
77.
victories after success in the World Grand Prix. And it looked
78.
for a long time today like he wasn't going to find the form that won him that, but my word, he's found it now.
Yeah, we're always looking for players who can take the game to the next level. I think
85.
this young man can. I think he's operating at a higher level than anyone else in the
86.
game at the moment. He seems to have shrugged off the expectation of being world champion, the pressure of that, and is now just playing with a freedom and a confidence
92.
of the best player in the world at the moment, no doubt about it.
Zhao Xintong
Zhao Xintong produces a stunning dash for the line.